human beings are more than, animals. Animals also, in their own limited way, they also go for hunting, whether it's digging the earth or chewing the leaves, whatever. They also find something to eat. And they also engage in reproduction, they also know how to do sex and all those things. So those things are common to all of us, animals and human beings. So we need to think, what is that which is special in human being? The specialty in human being, there are many, but if I highlight few, one is this big head. Relative to the size of the body, human beings have the biggest head, relative to the size of the body, as I said. Of course, we know whales and elephants, they have bigger head, but they have bigger body also. But relative to the size of the body, human beings have the biggest head. So much so that the child after birth is unable to lift the head for the next 6 months. So therefore, this big head with big brain and intelligence or mind this must be used. We are not using it at all, almost zero. Even Einstein said he could not use more than 5-6%. So imagine about us. we hardly use.
The technology and
Yeah, exactly. Again,
shortcuts.
Yes, shortcuts. You hardly use. You are right. So therefore, what I'm saying is, use this human intelligence and analyze what is good for you in the long run, what is good for others in the long run, what is good for the society, what is good for nation, what is good for the international world for the long run, not just immediate sense gratification, So we are unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, we are also acting almost like animals. Because we are primarily, today everybody says, I'm very busy. I always challenge people by saying, it's not important you are busy. It's not important. What is important is, what are you busy about? Kis cheez mein vyast hai? That's important. So basically, it's clear that basically we are busy with material accumulation. Okay, I'm not jealous of your becoming rich. It's okay. But you need to think, when you talk about the so-called material progress, we are talking about physical progress, which has come from the external material resources, the forest, the minerals, which are by nature physical, which means they have limitation. So how can you make unlimited so-called development and progress from limited resources? Because of this unchecked greed, we are going to destroy the environment completely. Now there are clear evidence everywhere. I mean, go to any big cities like Delhi or New York or Beijing or whatever. It's polluted. Water is polluted, air is polluted, and the food we eat is contaminated, you see. Mostly packaged food, looks good from outside, inside it's rotten. How many months it has been lying there, nobody knows. But stupid as we are, we keep on consuming those junk food. Not only small kids, but elderly people also. Using the plastic bottle water, throwing the plastic everywhere, and all those packages that we throw around in the world. We are suffocating this earth, this planet. So how can we afford to do this? So therefore it is really important to use human intelligence. What are we doing? If you don't want long-lasting happiness, then it's okay. Go for ephemeral happiness, okay, go. But we all say, I want long-lasting happiness, right? So you are going in the wrong direction. So therefore, we must, keep this in mind and educate the younger generation. It's the responsibility of the elder generation to really make this earth livable for the future generation. Your future generation means your children. It's not enough just to give them some dollars and money and some concrete building, a swimming pool, no. So unfortunately today, much of the problem that we see around in the world is clear indication of starvation of human mind. We lack internal resources. And because we lack internal resources, whenever we confront a problem, we don't know how to deal with it. Because inside there's nothing. You will try to solve it, your machines, When the COVID-19 came, you tried to solve it with vaccination, which is good. But inside, because there's no inner resources, many people committed suicide. Anxiety, depression, fear. Because we are living a life in which we don't know how to live alone and also don't know how to live with others. It's a big problem. And on those glorious days when there's no COVID-19, something like that, you don't cook your food inside. You go out, eat in the hotel, restaurant, so-called socializing all the time. Never be inside. You don't know how to live alone. When COVID-19 came and said, okay, lockdown, you can't go. Now you're alone, you don't know how to live. And then people are suffering from loneliness, depression. I'm not just exaggerating it. It's happened recently. You see, so therefore we need to really learn from these things. Learn from these things. And the most important source of long-lasting happiness is your inner resources. Resilience, compassion, love, fortitude, patience, wisdom. These are the most important things. If you have these inner resources, wherever you go, you will be respected, you will be happy. Yes, it is true, there will be ups and downs in life. The life is not just suffering, life is not just happiness, it's a mixture of things. But if you have these inner resources, you will know how to deal with these problems. So that I want to say. So now.
And the other question is, what was the worst advice you ever got in life?
Worst
That
is.
you got in life.
Somebody gave you.
So the best advice someone ever gave you, and the worst advice someone ever.
The best advice that somebody gave me, there may be many, but I recall what I already said. This is what His Holiness the Dalai Lama always says. If possible, help others. If you can't help, don't harm. Very powerful, you see, very powerful. It really summarizes all the teachings of the Buddha. And then the worst advice, I don't know. The worst thing that people say is, just take care of yourself, forget about others. Be selfish, be individualistic. Worst advice. Because you don't live in isolation. You see, you live with other people. How can you say, think only about yourself? Right? Yeah.
Coming from, I think, different countries.
Yes.
A lot of us are from the Middle East.
Yes, I know.
Europe.
Yes.
So maybe from what you've experienced from people that you've interacted with from Middle East, what would you feel is something that we can carry with us?
No, the important thing is whether you come from East, West, Middle East, whatever, we are basically same. That is the most important thing we need to remember. When you meet these people from any part of the world, another human being. It's not a devil, Your country may be waging a war with that other country, but still people there doesn't mean they are devils, you see. The mistakes are normally committed by the so-called leaders, selfish leaders, for their power, they use name of religion, they use name of the country. Actually, it's for themselves, you see. So in the process, they don't get killed. People get killed, you see. So that we need to know. And therefore, as much as possible, we should say no to war and conflict.
A lot of us maybe haven't interacted with a lot of Tibetan culture.
Yeah.
For me, it's my first time.
Yeah.
Many people, it's their first time.
Yeah.
Also with the Buddhist
Yeah.
philosophy.
Yeah.
So maybe if there's something you'd like to share with us about Tibetan culture, about Buddhist philosophy,
Yeah.
since we're here.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
our first time.
Yeah, wonderful. Exposure is needed. So many misinformation or lack of knowledge can be dispelled when you talk to more people. Then they are same, Yeah, and it's my own experience that sometimes when you see one person, maybe, this person looks very arrogant, very bossy, whatever. But when you really, remove this judgment and say hello, talk to that person immediately melts down. It's not a devil, you see. Same. I've been to Beijing, I've been to Israel, I've been to Russia, America, Singapore, and many, troubled places, also Africa, many places. When you talk to people, we are same. We are all born same. What is the first thing that the child does after the birth? Crying, see, same. It's not that the Tibetan children cry, African children laugh. No, no. We are all same, crying. So what do you think? That crying is the only language at that time. And what do you think the child is asking with that cry?
Attention.
That child is not asking for a long teaching on Buddhism. That child is not asking for a long teaching on Christianity or any religion. That child is asking for somebody's unconditional love. We forget that. As we grow up, then we forget this most important basic thing and talk about less important thing, which country you belong to, which religion you belong to, And then whichever religion, you have accepted, you think, you already have this thinking that this religion is the best. Who are you to say that your religion is the best? If somebody asks you which religion is the best, that is a stupid question. This is like asking which medicine is best. We cannot say this medicine is best because it's costly. Even if it is costly, if it is not good to cure your sickness, it's useless, you see. So that medicine is good for you, which cures your headache, your diarrhea, whatever you have. That doesn't mean that people who don't have diarrhea, that medicine is best. You see, so you can't say what is best. Right? It's not a question of best. So respect other people's need, disposition. Right? Okay? Yeah?
I would like to know your perspective about how every thought, how we should not underestimate every thought we think and how it manifests in our reality, and any advice how to master your thoughts?
No, it is not easy, but what you need to know is what you want to get in life. Clear. We all want peace, happiness, harmony of family, of yourself. So for that, entertain those thoughts which contributes to that harmony, that happiness. And reduce those thoughts like anger, jealousy, divisiveness, segregation. These are not good. So lessen those. We all have the positive thoughts, negative thoughts also. But we as human beings have the capacity to lessen the negative thoughts and strengthen the positive thoughts. Animals can't do. For example, I have been telling people, as human beings, as I already mentioned, we have this amazing brain, and also we have this amazing language. This language is, of course, for making connection, but more than that, I think this language is when there is a conflict and disagreement, then don't use gun. Sit down and have dialogue and negotiation because you have that language. Don't act like tigers and lions. Animals like tigers and lions, if there is a misunderstanding, the only thing they can do is jump upon each other and try to tear each other apart. They can't say, oh, Mr. Lion, sit down, we'll have a dialogue negotiation. They can't say because they don't have the language. So we are also acting like animals, you see. Whenever there's a problem, use nickel, threaten them with your atom bomb. Threaten them with your ballistic missiles. Right now we have over 20,000 atom bombs, shameful, stupid human beings. And these are to threaten and kill people, you see. And some of these atom bombs are in the hand of lunatic people. Yeah. In desperation, they can do anything, you see. Of course, we still, think that, okay, this nuclear atom bombs, nobody will use it. This is good for deterrence, they call it. But I'm scared. Because there are people who are really desperate, and one day out of desperation, I don't know what they are going to do. So we need to gradually come up with a program of demilitarization.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In the Tibetan and sort of Buddhist teachings,
Yeah.
is there a space for using your negative emotions in a...
Yes, possible. For example, we say anger, using anger on the path. Using anger on the spiritual path means sometimes in order to help some other people, bring on the line, you need to be a little bit tough. So there's a practice called a wrathful practice. That's why you see some deities in a very wrathful form. This is not to say you should have hatred and anger, but sometimes, just like skillful parents, when their naughty children never listens, then sometimes they say, no. So like that. So that way you can use it. Yeah.
I have a question for
Yeah.
me. You said a very important thing, which is we need to decrease the negative thoughts
Exactly.
and we increase the positive
Yes.
thought. But it is not very easy for everyone to do that. It's, even if you realize it is very important
Yes.
to
True,
increase the positive
True.
and reduce negative, what would be the one thing that maybe if you do on daily basis, simple thing, that will help you out to do this?
Yeah,
kind
one
of-
simple I don't know, but what you need to know is as far as developing the positive qualities, you should really precisely know the benefits of those positive emotions. Similarly, in the case of reducing negative emotions like anger, you need to precisely know how they are negative, how they are destructive. For example, anger. We all get angry, right? But is there anybody who says that when I become angry, I become very handsome or very beautiful? A beautiful woman, very beautiful, and also with ornaments and nice clothes. After that, she becomes angry, She doesn't look beautiful, horrifying. Second, when you get angry, your temperature increases. Very bad for people suffering from hypertension. You get headache. And then the worst thing is your brain stops functioning. You have now no idea. You become mad. So the simple question is, do you want to become mad? Mad? What do you mean by a mad person? A mad person is somebody who doesn't know what he is saying, what he is doing. His mind doesn't function. So when we become mad, we all do the same thing. We say all nasty things, and then when your anger comes down, you feel so sad and ashamed and sorry, you see, right? And then also, is there anybody who right in the morning makes a motivation saying that today I'll get angry? Is there anybody? No, because we have some idea anger is not good. But we do get angry. In the course of the day, you get angry. Then sometimes even to the extent that you pick a fight with somebody. Then in the evening when you come back home from your work and recall your fight and anger with that person, is there anybody who says, I was very angry, fought with somebody, so I really enjoyed the day? Is there anybody? No. That's what I'm saying. So you need to think a little bit how destructive it is for your family, for your health. Also in terms of money. For example, a country like America loses billions of dollars because of anger. I have a book on that. Because of the anger, there's shooting, which you hear on and off. There's road rage. There is car accident. So many things. And then, of course, people committing suicide. So you need to think like that. Then you'll say, in Buddhism, this attachment, anger, ignorance, they are compared to poisons. And they are worse than poisons. Poison will kill only your body, but your negative emotion will kill not only your body, but your mind also. So you need to clearly see the pros and cons.
On that note, I think most of us are always trying to find this, what's the purpose in life? What's the purpose?
Yeah.
I think probably is what's coming from this question. And I know there's many ways to find this, many different teachings. I personally want to know, how do you find yours? How did you find your purpose in life?
It's a very good question, very complicated question, but I have made it simple. Purpose of life is happiness.
Yes.
Purpose of life is not something you will get after 10 years or 20 years. Today's purpose of life is to be happy today.
Still living life.
Yes, live your life. Don't just get lost what has happened in the past don't get lost what will happen in the future. It's important that you learn something from the past, make certain preparations, but most important thing is live now. This is important because many people don't live now, they simply exist.
Sure.
They are not able to enjoy the beautiful scene. They are not able to, appreciate the smile of other people, So we are going around like a zombie, right? So we need to be happy. There are many reasons to be happy. Somebody came to me, a Western nun came to me once and said, Geshe, can you teach meditation? I said, I'll teach you meditation, but first you need to do something to really know about meditation. I said, this whole morning you just go out and this whole morning imagine that you are not a human being, but a cow. You imagine you are a cow. Then find out your food, find out your place to sleep, rest, things like that. Act like a cow. Then you know what it means to be a human being. You see, that's what I'm saying. We don't appreciate what we have. Always thinking, oh, how nice if I'm Bill Gates. Oh, how nice if I am able to live this as a 20-floor building. How nice if I have 100 Mercedes cars. What are you going to do with all this? You need something, but not to such an extent, you see. Right? So therefore, therefore, and then among human beings, like with your group, or including me, we all have both hands intact, all eyes intact, legs intact. Among human beings, how many people are there who have lost both of their hands, who are crippled? So you are not like that. So you are not like that doesn't mean that you should be happy, yeah, I'm not like that. Not just that. But now when you have all these facilities at your disposal, help others. This long arm and hand is for hugging, for shaking hand, not shooting gun. Right?
Yeah.
And this nice face with this beautiful teeth is to show your smile. Most of the animals don't have that capacity to smile.
Monkeys do.
Monkeys do something little bit like that. They're trying. Yeah. And then the eyes also, the eyes penetrating inside shows the depth of love. You see? All this is there. And that's why when you meditate or when you love your children, your eye become a little bit smaller. Because now the love is going inside, not just outside. So our eyes are not like the eye of a snake, which is round. So you can do all these experiments, you see. So appreciate, be happy. There are many reasons to be happy. And on top of these facilities, if you really make other people happy, then you die tomorrow, no problem. Because many people, they don't live their life thinking that I live 120 years, maybe I am useful. Or 300 years, I may be useful. Stupid.
Actually, on that note, different parts of the world, different beliefs and on dying and death. What would you advise for people that are afraid of dying or death?
Because normally fear comes due to lack of knowledge, lack of misunderstanding. So therefore, in Buddhism, it is really, really important that, as I already said, you must use your brain to understand the way things are, the reality. If you know the reality, there's nothing to fear, nothing to be scared of. For example, somewhere in the corner of my room, the light is not so good. There is a coil of rope, okay? Then you come from there, because of this little bit darkness falling there, you will think that there is a snake. There is no snake. But you will develop fear as if there is a real snake. This is because of lack of knowledge. So much of our fear that we have is ungrounded. So therefore, with death also, the so-called death is death of the body. There is no death to the mind. There is no death to which is most important. For example, tonight when you go to bed and sleep peacefully, there is also one kind of death. because you withdraw all your senses, your eye can't see anything, your, your nose can't smell anything, huh? But your mind becomes very active. You are sleeping in Dharamsala, your mind may be shopping in New York. So that shows the capacity of the mind to leave your body and enjoy and go everywhere. So therefore, when we talk about Buddhist practice, you do such a practice that you are able to leave an impact on your mind, which goes to the next world, not just the body. So this is important because today's world also, we give so much to the body. Yoga, jogging, meditation, especially for the body. And poor mind, you give hardly anything. So much of the problem that we see in the world is clear indication of starvation of human mind. We are not giving any food to the mind. The most important thing is the mind. Your boss is your mind, not your husband, not your wife. Yeah.
So when the baby is born,
Yeah.
it's cry,
Yeah.
and this baby, does he or she has a predisposed talents, the set of natural talents?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
Buddhism believes that there is already these talents exist in the body.
Exactly.
And how to find this talent? How to determine which?
So gradually when the child grows up, he is able to express it, Because scientifically speaking, after the birth, the brain is there, but there's no communication among the brain nerves. So when you start speaking, gradually you make connection, right?
Yeah.
So this is a very important concept. So therefore, as you grow up, the important thing is what kind of connection you want to make. If you talk more about love, more about compassion, there will be more connection, pathways, neural pathways for those good things. If you talk about anger, jealousy, all those things, negative connections will be there. So therefore it is important to train. Yeah. Okay.
I had a simple visual question.
Yeah.
It's curious one.
Yeah.
Why are your robes maroon? Is there any specific significance for the color?
Yeah, at that time in India it is said that this color is treated as the most inferior color. In those days. Inferior. Lackluster color. Leg luster. Yeah. Majority people don't use it. So to remove attachment, we have supposed to, actually the original color is, at the time of the Buddha is not this one, this color.
Yellow.
In India, the maroon, yellow color. Okay. Then in Tibet, because of very cold climate, this is a little bit like drug, which can absorb heat. So therefore Tibetans have adopted this one. But basically the three colors, the blue you can see here, then the maroon, then the orange, these three colors are permitted at that time. Because these are not so, favorite color for ordinary people. But now things change.
Designers are wearing this.
No designer wearing this. See? So that's what I'm saying. This is in a way, to do with the change, but in a way, probably something to do with Buddha's teaching.
I think so.
Buddha's teaching is such that the more you go into it, the more it will shine out, including your clothes. Even this shaving the head, you see. In the beginning, it's a big mistake, these hairs are to protect your head and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So people might say, this is crazy, But now again, it's fashion in the West. I've seen many people, the whole company, with people with shaven heads, yeah. Yeah.
So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
for taking the time out.
Thank you. Thank you.